Hello. Many people hear about ayahuasca, but simply for one reason or another, usually financial reason, they cannot visit Peru straight away and try this miraculous brew, which transports the person to other dimensions. So that is why I decided to make this video and suggest some very practical and relatively very easy alternatives to ayahuasca. However, please note that these are not all the alternatives, or the best alternatives, or the closest alternatives. They are just some things that, who knows, maybe can help some of you. Okay, first of all, I will suggest two alternatives for those who turn to ayahuasca for spiritual advancement, spiritual elevation, and after that I will give you suggestions for those who are interested in ayahuasca in terms of medical cure. Okay, first of all, on the spiritual side, the first and most obvious, at least for me, alternative to ayahuasca is yoga, mystic yoga. Yoga is not just exercises. Actually, in India, this is a mystic science, and the good news is that I found an absolutely excellent website with tons of free information about yoga, and I studied it quite closely. And after reading it very carefully, I really assure you, after practicing yoga for practically my entire life, starting at the age of 13 or 14, that this is a very genuine information, and just studying it's absolutely free. Studying it very carefully at your home without purchasing any expensive yoga mats or any at all yoga equipment or any other sort of equipment. Just using your own body and following their instructions very carefully, you can reach, actually just by yourself, very, very high stages of yoga. Okay, the link to this website you can find in the video description. Now on to the next spiritual alternative to ayahuasca. Well, this one could be a bit more interesting for those who are very excited about visual images from the other world. By the way, you can get that with yoga as well. It is not at all impossible. Thousands of people have reached that stage within a couple of years. But if you're interested in something faster, these are hypnotic past life regressions. Actually, there is a lot of misunderstanding about hypnosis, which is spread out by Hollywood and the mass media, that in hypnosis somebody can convince you to do or believe things that you wouldn't wish to accept if you're awake. This is not true. Or other things that stupid people only can be hypnotized. This has nothing to do with reality. Not all people can be hypnotized, but many of them can, and it doesn't depend on the level of their intellectual development. Understanding is that the hypnotist may, extract information from you which you consider rather private. No, under hypnosis you will never tell something which you don't want to share. Your subconscious, your higher self will tell the hypnotist this is not your area. And other things is that hypnosis is absolutely safe. There has been no reported cases so far of somebody going back in time and getting stuck there, because hypnosis is not teleportation. It's kind of observing past and sometimes even future events. And this phase of hypnosis actually as a mystic trance, giving us access to very important information about our past lives, is kind of not very much stressed on in the way they try to present hypnosis to us, because this is simply a door, such an amazing doorway to true knowledge about our soul, about our true self, and such knowledge is very much liberating. And this is not in the interest of the people who have control over the mass media. That's why many of us don't know the truth about hypnosis. And if you wish to learn that truth, I would highly recommend you the works of Dr. Brian Weiss and Michael Newton. I have published selected quotes from them in 5 very long videos here on YouTube on my channel. You can find them in the playlists. Or if you don't want to purchase the books, maybe I could help you. You can contact me by email and send me your email. I can send you, for example, some guided past life regressions recorded, which are excellent, and some other materials in PDF format. I downloaded them on some pirate websites for free. And after that, I have to reinstall my full operating system. So to save you this such type of reinstallations, I can help those of you who wish by sending material by email, because this is absolutely valuable knowledge. And it's about, they both have at least 5 books, maybe about 10-20 books in total. News, I don't want to talk too much about this. The good news is that you can try to do past life regression absolutely safe and free of any side effects at home. Not everybody can reach the state of self-hypnosis. Other people will have to try actually months before they can get images from past lives. But when they start, there are many thousands of medical cases properly documented, in which people get cured of really very serious illnesses just by remembering the traumas that caused them in their previous lives, because we travel in between lives with our subtle body, Sukshma Sharira called in the Eastern language. So although this gross body dies and rots after that, the subtle body accompanies us all through the usually thousands of lives while we are in the material universe, and remembers those past scars. And the process of catharsis is really quite amazing, just by clarifying the situations in which these scars originated in past lives. They can be actually healed. It's quite a magical way, but it works for many people. And you can try it by yourself at home alone. It's very easy. And although it doesn't work for everybody, it's definitely something worth trying. Okay, so those who are interested in ayahuasca because they have some sort of sickness that is difficult or impossible to cure with the popular medicine, or some people simply do not wish to use the popular medicine like me under any circumstances. but cannot go to Peru to drink ayahuasca. I mean, it's far away, it's expensive, or they cannot get leave from work, or simply are afraid to visit this continent, which is so full of crime. And this is a very legitimate concern, by the way. This is my own experience. So, of course, there are so many nature cures, really hundreds of them, but I will mention only a couple of them which are not very popular in the West, but that's why I mentioned them, because you maybe haven't thought about them. The first one is really very easy and almost free. All you need is just 1 or 2 spoonfuls of oil, maybe olive oil, and the technique is called oil pulling. On YouTube or somewhere else you can find the exact description of the technique. You kind of swish the oil in your mouth, between your teeth, for about 15 minutes. And when you read about it, you will most likely feel like this is something very strange, that it is very unlikely to help any ailment, what to speak about serious ailments which are incurable with other means. And this was my feeling when first somebody gave me a small brochure about it many years ago. But since it was so easy, it wasn't difficult to convince me, and I tried it. And for me, the effects were, I didn't expect any effects at all. It looked like something very stupid to me, but the effects, at least for me, were amazing. And I urge everybody to try it, everybody who has any sickness. Although various scientists claim that they have discovered it, in reality it has been a traditional cure in various countries in Asia. And please don't do this when you have food in your stomach, and also don't eat 2 hours after doing this procedure, and don't drink any juices maybe 1 hour after doing it, and even water, don't drink water half an hour after doing it. These warnings are especially applicable for people with slow digestion. It may look like that, well, how can it do any harm just by swishing oil in your mouth, and you should not eat 2 hours after that? It will not harm you, but this is not the case, I assure you. Please follow these instructions very carefully. And basically, for those of you with slow digestion, the best is to do it very early in the morning, for the first thing after you get up, and hopefully this will be 2 hours before your breakfast. So in other words, try oil pulling. And next thing I want to suggest you are 2 devices which are actually used by millions of people, especially in Russia and other areas of Eastern Europe, but are not very popular in the West, although they are starting to make their way in certain healing centers. But over there I see them presented as some sort of special technology operated by equipped, trained personnel only. In other words, it's a bit like too commercial. In reality, these are devices for personal use. They are manufactured and sold for personal use, properly certified medical devices for home use, and those who wish can find the instructions and train themselves how to use them. These 2 devices are vitafon and Scenar technology. Maybe I should start with Scenar. The drawback of Scenar is that it tends to be expensive. I mean, an original device by the original manufacturer, I would either recommend two of the original manufacturers, or then a Scenar. Don't buy any cheaper imitations that were manufactured during the later years by reverse engineering or other companies that were trying to imitate the original, because some of them don't work. Not all, but some. So to get an original device, it will be at least $600-700. That is the drawback. But the good thing is that there is the chances of getting cured of some serious illness with Scenar are extremely high. People with incurable illnesses, what was it? How many thousands was it? The tests were carried on 18,000 people, and what percent of them had improvement? Was it about 90% had improvement? Many of which got completely cured of their sicknesses. And if you those statistics are available on internet, and these are serious diseases. This is not just that somebody had a headache in the morning and got cured by the evening. So a large number of serious conditions can be cured with the Scenar technology. It basically works on cellular level and rejuvenates the cells by some sort of impulses which are similar to electric impulses, but basically you have a small device the size of a mobile phone, and you move it on the surface of your body and give these impulses to the specific areas needed. You will most likely, you have to get sure if you decide to buy one, you have to get sure first that you will be provided also with a manual for training yourself how to use it. That is very important. It will take you, if you work seriously all day, maybe it will take 1 week to get trained at home yourself how to use it. Or if you do it part-time, of course, it will take longer. And the treatment itself can take a few months, but it tends to give results pretty fast. For me, again, it gives results. I got a second-hand device many years ago, and always carry it in the suitcase when I travel. That's my doctor substitute. I don't go to doctors. So for me, it always works within minutes of using it, but I guess some other people, depending on the condition, may have to wait a few weeks before the results appear, but don't give up. Cases in which it doesn't help are actually very rare. And the next one I would like to review is the vitafon technology. It's another medical device with Russian origin. The bad thing about it is that its success rate is much lower. I think it will be about 40 or 50% at least, or 60-70 at most. There are many people who have purchased it and reported no improvement at all. Although I doubt a little bit that they didn't follow the instructions properly, because it's kind of funny device making funny sounds, and it kind of may look like a joke, and people may not feel like completing its full course as described. But its lower success rate is its only drawback. It's relatively cheaper. Maybe people can get it for €200-300, something like this, $200-300. Although in Russia it's of course much cheaper. And it's relatively easy to use. I mean, you only need to read the instructions for half an hour. And for the specific ailments, there are tables with where to put these kind of tentacles of the device and for how many minutes in which mode of functioning. And on the website of the original manufacturer, there is the manual is They are online, and you can see the list of diseases that it cures. And you better check if yours has a table of, not table, but a specific chapter for instructions how to use it for this specific disease. Otherwise, you will need to find a doctor who is trained in this in this type of therapy to make such instructions for this specific disease, although many of them are already listed. And yeah, otherwise it's very easy to use. Maybe it will take you 10-15 minutes per day, and that's all. You put the tentacles of the device on your body, and it starts making some funny alien sounds. And actually these sounds, they kind of massage and rejuvenate again on cellular level, and that's how it cures. I will tell you my personal experience with this device. I bought one many years ago. I was visiting my parents, and they put on the TV. Otherwise, I don't keep TV at home. I don't have TV since decades. But I watched TV for a few minutes at my parents' place, and there was this ad about this device. And it looked like, to me, it looked like any other scam on TV, purchase this and that and call the next 10 minutes, and this type of things. But some voice from inside actually told me to purchase this thing. And I was lucky enough to listen to this voice, and I purchased it, and, I had it delivered, it arrived, I opened the box, it looked funny. I had absolutely no belief it will do anything, but I put it on my sinuses, and I think I used it for 3 minutes only the first day. That's how much you use it on your sinuses, and the effect was that for a couple of days I had to 24 hours hold some napkin on my nose, because things started coming out from there, from my sinuses, literally dripping, and if I took off my hand, I would drip as I'm walking. An amazing amount of stuff came out of my sinuses with the help of this vitafon thing. And yes, it definitely worked for me. It didn't cure my sinusitis forever, however, the relief is amazing. And for those of you who don't know, chronic sinusitis is actually something very, very difficult to cure. Well, again, thank you for listening, and I will be very happy if somebody has some benefit of the ideas I gave in this video. Have a nice day.